Hi, my name is Jasmine,
I'm Kirsten.
and today we are making.
Creole style seafood gumbo.
Yes.
These are the ingredients, which include flour, bacon drippings, celery, lots of vegetables, lots of meats, and seafood, which are key components of gumbo.
For the short general history of gumbo, gumbo is actually a thick soup created by enslaved African Americans with leftovers rationed to enslaved people and whatever they could grow on their own. Gumbo, which is okra in Swahili, has been used in West African cuisine for centuries. Okra originated in what is now the areas of Sudan and Ethiopia and spread to Arabia, the Mediterranean, and finally to India. Slaves from West Africa brought okra over to the Americas and continued to use it heavily until it eventually became an essential component of African American cuisine. Although the renowned recipe for Louisiana gumbo doesn't exactly resemble the traditional West African okra stew, okra still remains the core ingredient of both dishes.
A distinct characteristic of gumbo is the thick soup base. One way of making this soup base is the roux, which was introduced by French colonists who were exiled from French Canada in the 1700s. A roux is a French thickening technique made by cooking a mixture of flour, butter, and some form of animal fat. This method is mainly used in Cajun and Creole gumbos. Creole gumbo differs from Cajun gumbo because of the roux. A typical Creole roux is made from butter and flour in the French method. Meanwhile, a Cajun gumbo uses a roux made from lard or oil with flour. In Gullah Geechee communities, tomato paste is used as a thickening agent instead of the roux. In some cases, the Creole gumbo can also be thickened with tomato paste. In traditional West African stew, the okra itself is cooked down until it is a thick green sauce and becomes the soup base itself. We hope you enjoy our recipe.
The first step is going to be make the roux by whisking together flour and 3/4 cup of bacon drippings in a saucepan. Whisk this until it turns a rich mahogany brown. Instead of bacon drippings, as you can see, we use butter, which is a great substitute. The second step is to chop up celery, onion, green bell pepper, garlic, as well as the sausage, and then put this in the roux and cook this until the vegetables are tender. Do this with medium-low heat. The third step is to combine water and beef bouillon cubes in a large soup pot. Bring this to a boil over medium heat. Whisk the roux into the boiling water. This is where you want to add your seasonings as well as tomato sauce and diced tomatoes. Simmer this over low heat for an hour and then mix in 2 tablespoons of filet gumbo powder at the end of the 45-minute mark.
Here we have skipped ahead to the segment where we put in the seasonings.
While you wait for this to cook, melt 2 tablespoons of bacon drippings or butter in a skillet over medium heat, add okra and vinegar, then cook this for 15 minutes, then remove the okra and then stir into the simmering gumbo. Your final step will be to mix in your crab meat, shrimp, as well as your Worcestershire sauce. Simmer this until your flavors have blended for 45 minutes. Before you serve this, add in 2 more teaspoons of filet gumbo powder, and then enjoy.
Rice has been cultivated by African farmers for centuries. African people knew what to do with rice when brought to the Americas, as the parts they were brought to had a similar farming climate to Africa. Rice was used as a versatile food source by slaves and was adapted into various dishes, specifically gumbo. Many plantation or slave owners built their wealth off of rice, as it grew everywhere in that climate. However, some slaves brought rice seeds to the Americas as means of survival. You may realize that gumbo is usually served over rice, and our recipe doesn't include that. So basically, what we're saying is, go get your own rice. Thank you.
This last clip is of me trying it. It was really good, and that's how you make gumbo.